What's up friends, Chook here and welcome back to Bit Heroes. It's Sunday, it's Item Find Day, it's also Expedition Day. A few things to go through before we start though. One, in the weekly reset thing, I did get enough mount guts to fully upgrade my mount, which is awesome. So now we're sitting at 3429 total stats, which is great. We are using our Item Find runes. So that gives us an extra 40%. We have the daily bonus doubled at the moment for this event, so that's an extra 100 there, so we're at 142. And then we're also using the Item Find Tome, which is the first one of these I've ever used. I usually use Super Scrolls for the speed bonus as well, but this gives us 200 Item Find. So we're sitting at 342% Item Find, which is pretty crazy. Let's just double check. Item Find, 342%. So if something's going to drop, it's going to drop now, you would think, but we shall see. Let me quickly just get my fishing done for the day. There we go. So let's get started, right? We got expeditions. We only have 12 badges, but we also have the... where is consumables? There it is. We also have the plague plaque of badges. So let's smash that out. 50 more badges. So now we have 62, and then we could also, wrong button, we could also go in here and use 100k on average badge pouches as well. In fact, why don't we just do that, right? So let's go with 5, buy you, and then we can go back and buy you, and then by the time we're done, we should have another 15 to buy another one. So let's quickly use those as well. Wherever they are, where'd they go? Or do they just go straight? No, it's a consumable. Where the hell did they go? They got to be in here somewhere. I just hovered over them, I think. There. Use all of those. Yes. Another 30, which is good. And I think we're good to go. So we have 92 badges. Let's get started. Also, we are going in using 5 badges per thing, and we should get some loot, hopefully. So we're going in this first expedition, the cloud one. We're going for the mount, as always. Not for the mount, for the bow. Sorry, I've already got the mount. That's what I was meant to say. We do have this mount here. I'm not using it at the moment, but you did see that in the last episode. If you saw the last episode, that is. So I got that cosmetic mount. That's the word I was looking for. I wasn't even going for it. The mounts from this particular expedition don't do too much for me. I really wanted that fatty mount, but never got it. And it turns out, I think I was explaining last video as well, that if you get a cosmetic mount, it doesn't show up saying, you know, that you've looted a cosmetic mount. And, you know, you get flooded with friend invites and stuff. So I didn't realize I got it. The only way I realized I got it was to go into my inventory, and it was just sitting there. I'm like, oh, well, there you go. I got a mount without even knowing. Because usually with these expeditions, I just set to auto and, you know, keep watching TV or whatever I'm doing, housework, whatever it may be, and come back at the end and then, you know, set off the new one. So, yeah, cosmetic mount, pretty cool, but definitely not what we were going for. We're definitely going for the bow. So the plan is, if we get the bow, that will give us, it has 1% dual strike, 1% empower, and I think 1.5% ricochet or something. But the dual strike and the empower is what I'm interested in. So that will get us to, let's quickly pause for a sec. If we go in here, our dual strike is 29%. So that'll take us to 30%, for dual strike at least, which is pretty great. I've focused heavily into dual strike. It's my favorite stat, so yeah, that'll get us 30% of that. And then the bow, the extra 1% will get us to 5.5% here. And then I've got that mythic helmet that gives 4% in power. I think it's 4%, or is it 6%? I think it's 4. Let's have a look. 4%. So that'll get us to 9.5% in power as well. So basically, we'll have 10% in power and 30% dual strike, which is pretty damn good. And as free to play, without buying, you know, all the gems and everything to run 1,000 expeditions or whatever and level up super quick and get gear super quick. I think as a free-to-play player, that's a pretty good amount of stats to have. 30% dual strike, 10% in power. So that's what we're going for. But it all depends on the bow. We could use the helmet and get that 4% in power to take us up to basically 9.5, 10% in power right now. But if I can't get the bow, I'll probably should just try for the 4 out of 4 set that you can get from Raid. But if we get the bow, then we can use the bow and the helmet together, as I just mentioned, and then we'll have the offhand and body. We can do the well, we can either just keep as legendaries, or we can use the sets from the Raid. So 2 out of 4, sorry, set pieces and 2 mythics sounds pretty good. Or 4 out of 4 set pieces, providing we get them, of course. And then my ring and necklace, I haven't even bothered to think about. I can't do 500 Trials Gauntlet to get any set pieces from there, and I can't do Heroic World Boss to get set pieces or mythics or anything from there. So we pretty much have 2 options, depending on what drops. Like I said, if the bow drops, then we'll do mythic bow, mythic helmet, and then either legendaries or set pieces for the offhand and chest, and then just legendaries for ring and neck. If the bow doesn't drop, we'll probably just do legendaries and set pieces for everything. So I really hope the bow drops, because I want that 30 and 9.5 dual strike and in power. That just sounds cool. And mythics are cool, right? So yeah, I know a lot of people have been trying to get this bow, and a lot of you have got it actually. Quite a few people talk to me and say that they've got it, and or their friends have got it or something. So it does drop, just not for us so far. But one of my friends on here, Bob, who you know who you are, has got the cosmetic mounts. He's got all of the mythic gear from each dungeon, from each expedition and everything. He's just got like all the luck in the world. And then he opened an accessory box yesterday, I think it was, and got the accessory he was after as well. The legendary accessory he was after as well. So he's got like the best RNG in the world to get the legendary accessory to start with, and then every mythic from each of the portals, and then some mounts as well. Like, come on, man, share that shit, right? Share the love. We have gotten absolutely bubkiss apart from the cosmetic mount I didn't really even care about. So today's the day. If we don't get it today, I don't think we're getting it, right? Because 342% item find is on the higher side of item find. So it's let's just jump back in. It's 200% from the item find tome. It's 100% from the daily bonus. And then it's 40% from my 2 runes, which equals 340%. And then there's 2% from the guild perk. We've just got level 1 into item find, so it gives an extra 2% item find. So that's how we arrive at 342. So here, Sinnigan said he's got 352 item find. And I'm like, how'd you get 352? Because I'm using like the best of the best, everything I've got available, and I'm only at 342. So yeah, either way, 342, it's still damn high. So I did kind of go back and forth in my head about whether I should buy that plaque of badges or not. But I did buy the item find tome, tome, whatever you want to call it, for today. Because of the double bonus to 100% item find. I'm like, well, if I chuck an item find tome on as well, it's going to get me 300, and then we just talked about that, to get up to 342. And I'm like, I may as well buy the badges, because that's the best item find I'm going to get for a long ass time. And if we really want these mythics and stuff, then we have to go for it. So I only bought the 1. I could have bought 2, I guess, but we're also saving gems for our accessory, and also the raid 6 boss. So I didn't want to spend too many gems. As again, free-to-play player, it takes a while to accrue those gems and get them and get them up to the 5k mark. It takes forever. As a result of that, actually, none of the offer wall offers on mobile are really worth it at the moment. But forever, for at least the past, I don't know, let's say year, I've turned those video ads off because they were annoying. but I have turned them back on my phone and my tablet. So I won't turn them on for on Steam when I'm recording, because I don't want to bore you guys watching ads and stuff. But I am now going through and doing those ads on my mobile or tablet, whatever I'm up on at the time, because you're not going to get any decent loot out of it if you. Well, there's the videos that you get inside the dungeons, and then there's the videos you get when you're just standing out in your guild hall or in the town or something, which usually give you either energy, or sometimes they're gems, but more often it's energy. There's like a little option up here that says like video or something. Well, you can't see that because my face cam's in the way, but basically behind my face cam there'll be like a little option that says video, and you can watch that to get like more energy, or sometimes it's gems. But in the dungeons or raids or whatever it be, sometimes you'll get the option to watch a video, and you never get anything decent out of it loot wise or anything, but you usually get like 3 or 4, 5 gems out of it. So every little bit helps, I guess. So if you are looking to get gems for free, and trying to get more and all that type of thing, then turning those video ads on and watching them can be handy. But it just, it's a bit of a pain in the ass. But if you play any other mobile games, you're probably watching ads for rewards anyway. So I play this, I play Idle Heroes, and I play Hero Hunters. So all 3 have the word hero in them: Bit Hero, Idle Hero, Hero Hunters, and all 3 of them have watch ad for extra reward thing. So just the way they are really advertising, and they get paid, and you get some form of free loot and stuff. So if you are looking for gems, that's a way to do it. If you watch, say, 2 videos a day, maybe, I don't know, let's just use that as a hypothetical, and you get 5 gems each. It's 10 gems a day. At the end of the week, that's an extra 70 gems you didn't have. And you look at the offer walls, and some of them are 50 gems or 70 gems or whatever it is for doing some crappy game offer or something. So it does add up, and it's probably worth it. It's just a bit irritating. But like I said, I didn't put it on Steam when I'm recording, because I don't want you guys to have to sit through ads for gems and stuff. But yeah, definitely give that a shot if you're looking for gems. It's just an extra 20 seconds out of your day, really. Alright, let's see. Hey Zell, the dog just ran in. Let's see if we get anything from this guy. He's given it fuck all, and he continues. Hey, I got a bow. There we go. We can stop. We got a bow from this expedition. A rare bow is definitely better than mythic. 100% confirmed. So a lot of you guys have been asking for, well, some of you guys have been asking for longer videos. I did put a kind of poll question thing out a while ago, probably a few months ago now actually, whether you guys would want maybe on a Sunday item find video, instead of just doing like a couple of raids, if you wanted me to do all 8 raids, or make a longer video than 20 minutes, like an hour's worth type thing, like an offline streamy type thing. And there was a bit of interest in that. There were a few people saying like, yeah, make longer videos, and then there were a few people like, no, 20 minutes is good, and then there was the vast majority that just didn't chime in at all. So maybe today we'll go, because it's Expedition Day and we got all these badges and stuff, maybe today we'll go through and do a bit of a longer video and use, probably won't use all these badges because it will take a while. If we had Super Scroll on and we were moving super fast, maybe, but we're just moving and attacking and everything at the 7.5 speed. So it will take a while to get through all these guys. I could take the difficulty down from 350 to like 200 and we'll blitz through it, but that would be, hindering our guild's process in the expeditions effectively, so I don't really want to do that. But that is something you can do. I've mentioned this as well, that all the items and item find and stuff that you get in these expeditions isn't related to the level of expedition you're doing, the difficulty of the expedition you're doing. You can do expedition on level 1 and you'll have the same loot table and everything to loot as if you were doing it on 500. It's just the points that you get towards your guild. So if you're strapped for time, like say you've only got like 5 minutes before work, or you're on your lunch break and you've got 10 minutes or something and you want to get all these expeditions and stuff done, You know, you could just, if you were doing level 325 like I am, or 350 like I am, you could just put it down to, you know, 200 or 150 or something, and you'll get them done a hell of a lot quicker, and you still have the chance of getting the same loot. It just means that you won't be giving your guild the best points towards, you know, the contribution towards the expedition and rewards and all that sort of stuff. But it is an option there if you're strapped for time, or you just blatantly can't be bothered, or you don't care about your guild. So there's a few reasons you can do it. I was doing 400 and was doing it okay, actually, and then just like raid 6 boss, or raid 6 in general actually, sometimes it just decides to be a lot harder for no reason. And I was getting wiped a bit on 400, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm getting wiped. There's no point keep doing it, because if I can't get to the boss and beat the boss, I'm not going to get the chance of getting that mythic, or, you know, decent loot, all that sort of thing. As I've mentioned, if you can't do heroic, but you can do hard. If you can't do heroic every single time, I mean, but you can do hard every single time, keep doing hard, don't try heroic, because if you can't complete it, then you're missing out. So I just took it back down to 350. And, you know, that's a safe spot for me. So you even see now that Sirenin at the back here is about half HP. So if we went up to 400, he might have got killed there. You know, you can use potions and all that sort of stuff, and you can obviously also switch people around and all that. But if you've been watching my videos or have been on my channel for a while, you would know that I appreciate and love auto. And the less manual I have to do, the better. The game plays itself, right? You pick the parameters and you pick what you want it to do, and then you go, all right, off you go. bring me loot, or not loot, as it turns out most of the time. So yeah, I want to manual as least as possible. I still auto PvP most of the time as well, and GVG and all that, until I see that there's an issue. And then if there's an issue, like, oh shit, one guy just got one shot or something like that, then I'll go manual. But for the most part, with PvP, I just take off my helmet and chest piece, or 2 pieces of gear. It doesn't really matter what it is, but I take off my helmet and chest piece, and just pick the weakest enemy, or the enemy I think I can win against the most, and then just auto that thing. And I think I've lost 1 game of PvP in like the last couple of weeks. So yeah, it's just picking your battles. I do have really good familiars for PvP though, so I'm a bit, well, I was going to say a bit lucky there, but it's not really luck. We've talked about this as well, that there's kind of the 2 different mindsets of players, as far as I can see. There's the players that just want to, well, 3 really. There's the min-maxers that just want the best of everything, and, you know, like, follow a guide 100%, like, to perfection, everything, to get the absolute utmost, technically best thing you can possibly do. That is not me by any stretch of the imagination. But there's that. Then there's the people that want to just progress as fast and as hard as possible, and so they just like, I just want to get up to tier 9. I want to get up to raid 6 as soon as possible. How do I do it? And then they just smash it out. And then there's the people, which is me, that kind of like to do just a bit of everything. Like, yeah, I like to progress and everything, but I also spent a hell of a lot of time doing familiar related things. And so I will use, instead of going on, I think it's Monday, might be Tuesday, a bonus where it's 30% capture rate and 30% item find. I'll use that day, let's say it's Tuesday, I'll use that day to do capture rate instead of the item find, because it's item find and capture rate, both of the same percentage bonus. I'll use that to try and get myself a Driffin or a Wardy or whatever, as well as on Thursday. So, you know, ultimately, if I wanted to get the best of the best and get the best gear and progress as fast as possible and all that sort of stuff, you know, I should be doing raid 6 heroic and everything gear finding type thing on every single day. Maybe not on Thursday, because capture rate, 50% capture rate is handy. But I did spend a lot of time early on in the game getting schematics and familiars and all that sort of stuff. And I had Bobodom and Wembo fairly early. I think I was like maybe 100-ish, 120 maybe. So, and then once you get them, it's so much easier. So I've had a lot of people actually chime in and comment and ask me questions and stuff, and message me in the last couple of weeks about being stuck at flags, right? I'm stuck at this flag. What can I do to get through it? Or what am I missing? Or how can I improve? All that sort of thing. And a lot of it is to do with familiars. So they're still using Shramps and Ballin, or they're using, maybe they've got Squibbo, but they're using like a different tank or something like that. And that's fine. You can still do that. I think technically, well, no, definitely technically, you could beat the entirety of flags with Squibbo and Ballin, but you would have to have a shitload of total score, TS, to make it worthwhile, right? But the sooner you get Bobbidom and Wembo, because they're the two that I suggest, because they're the easiest to tank and healer wise to fuse. Bobbidom is pretty, he's pretty easy compared to a lot of the other familiars to fuse, and Wembo's like pretty easy as well, apart from Driffin, who's a dick, to fuse as well. So once you get Bobbidom and Driffin, flags become a lot less of an issue. And you can use them for PvP as well if you want. You could, I'm talking from a DPS perspective here, because I've only ever played DPS in this game. So you know, you could put Bobbidom in front for 3-man PvP at least. Oh, here we go. Let's just finish this guy off and give you a potion. And actually, we'll swap us around. There we go. Yeah, you could put Bobbidom at the front, and you could put Wembo in the back. And you Wembo in the middle even, and you in the back, or whichever you want. And you know, there's a decent 3v3 team. You've got a tank that's eating all the damage, and then you've got you and Wembo that are doing damage, and Wembo also heals. So yeah, getting Bobbidom Wembo is just, like, I highly recommend doing it as soon as you possibly can. Take a break from, you know, just pushing and doing everything you possibly can, raids wise and everything on every day, and any day that has a capture rate bonus, try and do that, and get the fams you need. I know a lot of you have also chimed in saying that you have all the familiars that you need to fuse whatever whatever fusion you're trying to do, but you don't have the schematic, and you're like, it's been like 10 days and I still haven't found the schematic, etc. Well, yeah, that sucks. I empathize with that, but I recently found a schematic, a legendary schematic in raid 2, and I'm level 288. So the schematics can take a while. 10 days honestly isn't too bad. Like, you know, if you like, I get it. I get it that it's frustrating that for 10 days you've been doing nothing but this dungeon trying to get a schematic. But it's the same thing trying to get 5 Yetis, right? We spent 5 months or something trying to get 5 Yetis. 4 months, something like that. And eventually we got them. So if you keep doing the dungeon and you have enough willpower and you have enough patience, because this game is basically willpower and patience simulator 2018, right? That's what it is. If you don't have patience and you don't have the willpower to just grind it out and go, no, okay, didn't get it, well, there's always tomorrow type thing, then this game's probably not going to be for you, and there's not going to be the longevity for it, and you'll end up quitting. But if you can, then eventually you'll get what you want, and it's rewarding. So yeah, if you are looking for those schematics, just keep at it, you'll get it. Now, as far as I'm aware, I can't guarantee this 100%, but as far as I'm aware, and I'm pretty sure, the schematics do fall under item find. That's what I've always thought, and that's what I've always been told. And as far as having chats with my my, you know, confident people in here and friends and on Discord and all that sort of stuff, the general consensus is that that schematics do fall under item find. But I can't absolutely 100% guarantee that because I'm not a dev, right? But I would use item find to try and get those schematics as well. But the long and short of it is that eventually whatever you're looking for, no matter what it is, will drop. It's just a matter of time. The problem when that comes in is that it's only a matter of time, keep trying type thing, is stuff like limited edition stuff like these expeditions, right? So if this expedition was here just like raid 6, and it was here just every day, and you could just do it whenever you wanted, I wouldn't be so crazily going for this bow and spending all this gems on plaques, badges, sorry, and item find tome and all this sort of thing. because it would just always be there. I'd just be like, alright, well, I'll just do my expedition today. No, I didn't get it. Oh, I'll just come back tomorrow and just keep doing that. But when you've got a limited edition thing that's only like expedition or what's the other one, invasion, all that sort of stuff, and there's a particular thing you want in there, then that's when you go balls to the wall, right? You just use whatever you've got available to you, and you smash it out, and you try and get that one particular thing or two particular things or however many particular things you want from there. So whether it be a mythic or a set piece or a schematic or whatever, you just go absolutely freaking nuts and try and get it. That's why I recommend with your guild honor to not just spend it on anything. Like, you know, it's a Saturday or something, and you've done all your raids and you've done all your dungeons and you've done all your everything, and you're sitting there and you're completely out of consumables, materials. That's still not the right word. You're out of whatever you want to call, you know, badges and PvP things, tickets and energy and whatever you want to call that. You're out of all of it and you've got nothing else to do. I would recommend just logging off. You know, come back in a couple of hours and do it all again when it's all regen. Don't go and spend your guild honor on like energy potions or anything just on a whim. Save it for when there's something that's limited edition when you really need it. So, for instance, expeditions is perfect. Save all your guild honor, and then if an expedition comes out and you know, you really want to help out your guild and push real hard, or GVG or invasion, whatever it be, you can go in there and you go, oh, I've got like 300k guild honor. I'll buy all these badges, and then I've got, you know, a heap of badges to help contribute and a heap of badges to push out this expedition or GVG or whatever it be and try and get the loot I want, etc, etc. So if you just like dwindle it away and use it a little bit here, a little bit there, you won't have it in mass to use when you really want it. So yeah, that's my advice, is to keep it until you really need to use it. So yeah, because I have had some questions recently, like on YouTube at least, being like, like how much, why do I have so much energy? Because someone will message you and go, I only have 150 energy, you have like 370 something, why, how do I get more, etc. You get one maximum energy every time you level up, so for every level you get one energy added to your pool. But you know, then it's like, I'm out of energy, I'm out of raids, and you know, every plaques and all that stuff. You know, how do I get more? What do I do to like, there's nothing to do, like this game's now boring type thing. It's like, well, again, just log off, come back 4 or 5 hours later, and things will be regen, you can do it again. Alright, so I generally only jump on 2-3 times a day. I usually jump on in the morning when I wake up and expend all of those things, and then I might jump on again at like, I don't know, in the afternoon, like 4 or 5 o'clock or something, and you know, spend them all again, and then I'll do another session just before I go to bed. And that's generally the gist. So I don't actually stay on, you know, online doing nothing for very often. Sometimes I sit on there and have a chats to people and stuff like that. But yeah, when you're out of all those things, just log off and give it a couple of hours and come back. Or have like different mobile games if that's the case. Like I mentioned, I play Idle Heroes and Hero Hunters as well. So you know, if I'm doing Bit Heroes and I've run out of everything, I'll just jump on to one of them, and then if I've run out of something to do on there, I'll jump onto the other one, and you know, I don't know, it's just something else to do. But I think if they made Bit Heroes where you didn't have restrictions like that, like you just had the energy and raid shards and stuff wasn't an issue, and you could just do them as much as you wanted, then everyone would just have like free reign to do everything at all times, and it would just get super boring and super grindy because you just sit there for like 4 hours doing expeditions and raids and stuff, and you're like, oh man, I cannot be bothered with this anymore. And then everyone would also have heaps of loot because there wouldn't be the restriction of like, you can only do 6 raids at a time, like, you know, to start with, and then you have to let it regen. You could just do like 400 raids and get all the loot, and you're like, oh well, I've got all the loot now, what do I do now? I'm finished, there's nothing else to do. Like, I'm at endgame and I've got everything. I don't know, that's my opinion anyway. Alright, so, getting back to what we're actually doing, because my god do I get on tangents and ramble. But hopefully whatever I'm saying is useful, particularly to new players. But, yeah, anyway. we still have not got anything dropped. 342% item find seems like it does jack shit, which is not what we wanted. But there's still hope. I don't have any more badges or guild honor, as you saw, or anything to buy anymore after this. So whatever happens today is our best chance of getting whatever we're after. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do this. I'm going to do this expedition until we get that bow, or run out of badges. If we get the bow, we've already got the mount from here, and I'm not too fussed about the schematics. I'm going to go to the last expedition, and then in the last expedition, let's just swap us two around. The last expedition gives that giant robot mount, which I think is, I don't like it. It's stupidly large. It's way too big, and I just don't really like the aesthetics of it or anything. But I know there's a heap of people out there that want it, probably for those reasons, because it's large and obnoxious and whatnot. So if we get the bow, we'll go to the last expedition and try for that, so we can like mock people that wanted it, right? Which is not normally my style, but there's been a heap of people that are just like, damn it, I really want that robot mount. So, you know, getting that and being like, haha, we got it, you don't, suck it. Could be fun. But that's not generally my style or my personality, but I don't know, for some reason I just want to do it. But the bow is definitely #1 priority. So we'll stick it out in here. I think we just were going in here, we had 37 badges left or something, so we're past halfway already, and have nothing to show for it. Now, we haven't got a schematic or pretty much anything actually. We've got a bunch of epics, but who cares? Now, speaking of epics, this kind of ties back to what I was saying before about pressing through zones and getting stuck. Pardon me, getting stuck on flags and all that sort of stuff. And you know, I was mentioning people are asking me like, "Oh, I'm stuck on this flag. I'm stuck on this flag. What can I do?" Da 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 da. And a lot of the times, like I said, it's familiars is the biggest glaring weakness that I can see. It comes down to 3 things really. Well, kind of 2 things. It comes down to familiars and TS. Right, and by TS, I mean like obviously what gear you're wearing. But if you're in zone 6 and you're still wearing like legendaries or something from zone 4 because they're legendaries, that type of thing, then yeah, my advice is, and always has been, god damn it, to just, after you complete raid 1, because raid 1's legendaries just use epic materials to upgrade. So if you're in raid 1 and you've got legendaries and you want to upgrade them, go nuts. But as soon as you get to raid 2 onward, each legendary from raid 2, raid 3, raid 4, raid 5, raid 6 requires its own special ingredient, component, whatever it is, to fuse. So for raid 2, for example, it's hyper shard, and they're super hard to get, they're super rare, and you need a lot of them to upgrade your gear. So when you get to raid 2, you might be like, oh shit, yeah, I got a legendary, that's, you know, awesome. And in reality, not so much, because you're never going to upgrade that legendary to max in reality, really. So what you want to do is you just want to get epics from each zone or each tier that you're in. So let's say that you're, in fact, let's quickly go over this because this is important. I've mentioned this a bunch in the last couple of weeks. So if whoever's been asking me and talking to me and chatting with me and stuff, if you're watching, this is what I mean by that. So let's say you're in, you've beaten Lake Haven and you've unlocked, no, let's say you're in Morgoroth, which is what, tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, tier 6. So you had all this tier 5 gear and you've come in here and you're now in tier 6. Do the first dungeon, get to the first dungeon and complete that. And then if you can't progress, like say you get stuck at this flag or something, just go back to this dungeon and do it on heroic as many times as you possibly need to get epic gear for all of your armor slots and weapons. So weapon, epic offhand, epic helmet, epic chest, epic neck, and epic ring. and max those out for 3 upgrades each. All it's going to cost you is epic material, so it's not going to be very expensive to upgrade compared to the legendaries and stuff. So if we quickly go on a tangent here, if we go to craft and we say we want to upgrade this here tier 9 epic offhand, it's going to cost us some gold, some common material, some rare material, and some epic material. So in reality, this stuff you should have a bunch of, and if you don't, just exchange everything in your bag because you're not going to need it anymore, that you're not using, at least, that's lower tiered. And, you know, this is fairly easy to upgrade. You know, 250 common material, 25 rare material, and 2 epic material. However, if we wanted to go and upgrade our, what is this? A neck from tier 9. So remember, this is tier 9 epic, this is tier 9 legendary. It's now 6 epic material, that before it was only 2, and 50 of these unique to each tiers, each raid, each whatever components as well. So you need 50 of these to upgrade it once. 50 of these and 6 of these to upgrade this one time. Whereas if you're going to upgrade this, you need 2 of these. And then, like, you know, a little bit of each of these things, which you should have heaps of. So you're never, this is what I was saying before, you're never going to max out those legendaries from the current raid you're in, because you're going to need so many of those particular components from that raid, from that tier, to upgrade them, that it's not worth it. You'll be sitting there for weeks and weeks and months, potentially, trying to get all those upgrades. And then once you do that, you'll get to the next zone. So say you're in tier 5, and you spent months and you upgrade all those legendaries. You're like, fuck yeah, I'm fully upgraded legendaries from tier 5. I've done it. And then you go to tier 6. The rare, fully upgraded epic is probably going to be just as good, if not better, than those fully upgraded legendaries from the previous tier. So there's no reason to upgrade legendaries unless you're in the current top tier of the game. So at the moment, we're in tier 9, upgrade those legendaries, that's how you get your TS. But while you're leveling and you're progressing, don't bother about upgrading any legendaries from tier 2, from raid 2, 3, 4, or 5, because you're just going to replace them with epics in the next zone tier anyway. So just get your epics in all of the main hand, offhand, helmet, chest, ring, and necklace. Max them all, so they're 3 out of 3 upgraded. That will give you the TS boost that you're looking for, and that should help you progress through those flags that you are struggling with. If it doesn't, then Familiars is your problem, and I would recommend getting, I would recommend getting Bobodom and Wembo as soon as possible. Now, people are saying, can I get Roleska instead? Can I get Remoraid instead? You can get whatever you want. It's your game, it's up to you. But I personally recommend Bobodom and Wembo. Because Wembo is a spread healer, Remoraid is a target healer. So if say you've got Bobodom, you and Wembo, and you're in the raid, and you know you're all a little bit injured or whatever, then Wembo's heal will heal you all. Whereas say you're in the same thing, but you've got Bobodom, you and Remoraid, and you're all hurt, Remoraid can only heal one of you. So say he heals you, then Bobodom and himself are still hurt, whereas Wembo will heal all of you, and you're all, you know, you'll get healed. So that's why I recommend Wembo. The other one is Walkham, which is the one I use. I like him better than Wembo, but marginally, and that's why I've decided to stable him, and I've currently got +3 Walkham. If you're new to the channel, or this is the first video you've seen or whatnot, I do have a +3 Walkham, and I'm working towards getting him +5. But I recommend, if you're new, to just get a normal, don't worry about stabling or anything, just normal single Wembo, because he's a lot easier to fuse than Walkham is. Walkham is a bit of a dick to fuse. You need a lot of Hobbit feet, which means you need to do a lot of world bosses, and world boss most of the time isn't worth it, and it's just, yeah. So Bobodom and Wembo, my absolute 100% recommendations for people trying to look for their first tank and healer, like decent familiars that are going to last them a while. So I used Bobodom and Wembo. Neither of them were or still are stable. They're just the bog standard Bobodom and Wembo that you get when you're fusing them the first time. I used them up until level 230 or something. When I... What a jerk, he killed me. When I swapped over to... Oh, we're like fully dead. Nice. Wait, no, that was swap. What am I doing? Potions over here. Yeah, that's when I swapped over to Welcome, because I wanted to give him a go, and I fused him, and he is better for... like, Welcome can be offensive and defensive. So he's got the spread heal for 1 SP. He also has target enemy, like you can individually target an enemy for 1 SP. So you can pick whichever enemy you want to attack. Really useful for PvP. And he's also got the ability to hit a random enemy for 1 SP as well. So if it's it gets down to one enemy's left, instead of using that 1 SP for use the target enemy skill, you can just use the random enemy. There's only 1 enemy, so the random is always going to pick that 1 enemy, and it does more damage. So yeah, Welcome's really good, but so is Wembo. So that Wembo's way easier to get. So hopefully that helped. If you're still wondering about what schematics to aim for and what legendaries to go for and all that sort of stuff, then Bobodom and Wembo definitely 100% my recommendations. Now I did do a video on which early legendary familiars to aim for, and I did one for each type of stat in this game: power, well, tank or healer or DPS is what I mean. And my recommendations were, again, Bobodom, Wembo, and Korgs. They're the first 3 legendaries for each of those different types, healer, tank, and DPS, that I recommend doing. I will link that video in the description, and it shows you where all of the familiars you need to fuse them are found. God damn, Cyrinen's getting his ass punished back there. Just swap that out. It shows you where all of the familiars for each of them are found, and the schematics can be found in any of the dungeons where those familiars can be found. So if you're looking for the Bobodom schematic, for instance, any of the familiars that go towards fusing Bobodom, the Bobodom schematic can be found in any of those dungeons. Same thing with every other schematic. So if you're unaware of where to farm for schematics and all that sort of stuff, just go to a dungeon that has a familiar that works towards fusing the schematic you're looking for, and that schematic can drop in that dungeon or raid or wherever it be. So yeah, like I said, I did a video of all 3 of those legendary familiars, where all the familiars are found to fuse them, and you know, just general tips and stuff about it. So I'll link that in the description if you're interested, and then that way there's kind of an easy guide type thing there for you, and you know, an easier thing to follow than to go back on the wiki back and forth a million times looking for specific, you know, familiars or dungeons or whatever it is. It's all just there in one video for you. So yeah, I'll link that in the description, and check that out if you are needing help with Bobodom, Wembo, or Korgs. Korgs is really good for PvP. He's not that good outside of PvP. He's very squishy, but he does a lot of damage. So if you're in PvP, like say you've got the 5v5 or something, if you put a Korgs in there, it's awesome, because there's all the other familiars in there to take damage as well, and unless he gets targeted, he can put out some serious damage. But if you take him with you, if you're a DPS, say, and you take like Bobodom and Korgs into a flag or something, he's just going to die, because there's no one healing him, and he's very weak defensively, but he can put out some stupid damage with his Dual Strike, which with that 50% buff to familiars bonuses, which was a couple of months ago, his Dual Strike's like stupid. 30% Dual Strike, which is basically what I have on my character as we were talking about. That's mental. Bobodom has 30% evade chance, really good. Wembo has 300% crit damage, and heals can crit. So you can get a massive heal off with Wembo, which is awesome. And then this is Remroade. So this is what I was... Oh, let's go back to Remroade for a sec. This is what I was talking about before. He heals target teammate for X amount. Whereas Wembo spread heals teammates, so he heals everybody. This is much better, much better. But Remnant Raid has 60% crit chance, so for PvP this guy's a beast. But for healing, Wembo's the better option. And then here's my +3 Walkham, which I was saying he has a spread heal just like Wembo does, but it's better. It's like does more healing. But again, the Wembo can have a crit heal. And here's the target damage, deals damage to target enemy for 1 SP. So you can either, if you have 1 SP, you can either heal, you can deal damage to a target enemy, or this is the random one. So you can see the damage here is what, about 2.5k to 3.5k. This starts at 3.5 to 5. So it deals damage to a random enemy. If there's one enemy left, it's not randomized, it's the only enemy he can hit. And this is the one to choose if that's the case. Or there's 2 enemies left and you don't really care which one you're going for first. This one. So yeah, Walkham's pretty great. But Wembo and Bobodon are the way to go. Either way, let's get back to expeditions. We've got 17, so we've got 3 to go until I've run out of badges, and I'm going to have to wait until they respawn. So far, Item Find Tome and the badge plaque thingy has netted us absolutely nothing. Absolute bubkiss. Diddly squat. some good English right there. But you know, whatever. You try not to let it get you down and all that sort of stuff. It's just a game. And you know, Expeditions is around for another couple of days, I believe. So even though today is our best chance with the Item Find Tome bonus and 342% and all that sort of stuff, let's just quickly check that actually. Oh, and if you haven't already, I'm sure you have, because this has told you, go visit Gramps in town, and he gives you 3 of these Cocos, which is, hang on, we'll just check this news first. How long is, it's around for another 5, pretty much 6 days. So even though today we have 342 item find, and that is our 100% best chance of getting it, and we've used all our badges and all the rest, you know, there's still quite a few expeditions to go before it actually finishes. Hopefully we can get it, before that happens, if we don't get it today. But if you go to talk to Gramps in town, he gives you 3 of these Cocos, which is the exact same as the broccoli or the delicious feast. It's basically like a half a super scroll. So super scroll gives you item find, experience, gold find, and movement speed by 150%. This gives you the exact same thing, but half at 75%. So I've got 5 of them, pretty much. So for the next 5 Sundays, I can use these and have half a super scroll each day. So that's pretty cool. Make sure you go and talk to him, because you get 3 of those for free. And they're pretty good, man. They're pretty good. I like them more for the speed. Just taking these fights, as I mentioned, I'm a pure auto player as much as I can possibly do. And just set it and forget, come back and see if you've got any loot. And again, most of the time, you know you've got loot because you've got, you know, 403 people sending you friends requests. So if you have a bunch of people up here that have sent you friends requests, it means you've looted something, just like that. Except we didn't actually get anything. But that was eerily timed, actually. I was talking about friends requests and then someone sent me one. Now, speaking of friends requests and friends list and all that sort of stuff, I did put up a video not that long ago, a couple of days ago, I think, about my friends request update for November. So if you're not on my friends list and you want to be on my friends list, you can, but there's a giant waiting list. It used to be 5 pages long. It's now 3 and a bit pages long. We'll say 3.5. So it will take some time. But if you want to be put on that waiting list and you want to be at the bottom of the queue and work your way up, just let me know in the comments. Say I want to be on your friends list and leave me your in-game name. A lot of people recently, I mean, I feel like I'm pretty open with this and pretty, I do my absolute best to help all of you guys if you need help and offer advice and put you on the friends list and all that sort of stuff. And I'm pretty clear with the kind of, not so much rules, because that's kind of a harsh word, but the how to apply effectively. Like, I'm pretty clear on how to apply. Saying, send me, tell me you've sent me a friend's request and tell me your in-game name. So I've sent you a friend's request, or I would like to be on your team, or whatever it is. Here's my name. And a lot of people are just commenting with just their name. I think it's kind of rude, right? Maybe it's just me, but it's just like, it's kind of obnoxious to just like, here, my name, put me on the list. It's like, you could just be a little bit nicer, maybe? I don't know. Am I being overly sensitive towards that? Like, it's not hard to just say, hey man, I'd love to be on your friends list. Here's my name. That's nice. Just putting your name there and no other comment or something just seems a bit dickish. I don't know. If you've done that and you're watching this, I have no hard feelings towards you. That's not what I'm saying. It's just like, I'm pretty clear when I say like, let me know you want to be on my friends list and let me know your name. Don't just like basically throw your name at me and that's it, because it doesn't mean anything. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being sensitive, but yeah, just I don't know. It just gets to me a little bit. It's just like I go out of my way so much to help people, and then people are just like, here. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on from that. I think this is our second last expedition. I've kind of run out of brain power as far as counting. We have been going for 50 minutes, so this is going to be about an hour video. So for everybody out there that was looking for a longer video, here it is. Hopefully there's something to show for it, but at the moment it's not looking great, is it? Anyway, we've had a bit of a chat, we've had a bit of a ramble. I've gone on tangents, as I do, and I've offered random advice. Well, it's not so much random, I always try and give advice and talk about things that I get through comments during the week or weeks prior to it. A lot of the time I do repeat myself and give the same advice, you know, fairly regularly, but the reason I do that is not because I think you're all dumb and you can't remember or anything. It's obviously not the case. Is because maybe there's people new to the channel and they haven't seen previous videos where I've gone over that advice. And so say someone starts watching, and there's the bow again, not the right one. Say this is the first video of mine that they've seen, and you know, they haven't seen all the previous videos or some of the previous videos or whatnot where I've gone over certain topics. And you know, the next video I put up, they might ask me a question and I'll try and address that question in the video, in the next video. So apologies if you're being here for a long time, and I do give the same advice here and there over and over again. I'm just trying to be helpful to the new people and stuff. So but if you are new or you're relatively new to the channel, I do have a lot of videos on Bit Heroes, and I do have a 10-part beginner's guide. If you're not aware of that. So if you are new and you're wondering what the hell to do and how this game works and all the mechanics and all that sort of stuff, in that 10-part guide I basically broke down every aspect of the game as best as I could and tried to explain everything as best as I could. So that's a really good place to start. I've got a lot of, like a heap of positive feedback for it, which is great. I'm not an egotistical maniac or anything. I actually have a pretty poor opinion of myself, but I've heard that those videos have been very, very helpful to new players. So if you are new, that's probably a good place to start, and we'll give you kind of a heads up about what to expect and what all these little mechanics are and all that sort of stuff. Because as awesome as this game is, and for like a mobile game that's free to play if you want to, again, I'm 100% free to play. I haven't spent a cent on this game, and I'm level 288. And you know, have my own guild and all these sort of things. So it's definitely doable, but the game doesn't really teach you a lot. It doesn't give you much in depth into the finer mechanics. And a lot of people will go on world chat, which I hate, because it's generally just world chat is just people measuring their own dicks, right, against each other. It's just a dick sizing fest. People are just trying to pump themselves up and look better, and I don't know. I don't like world chat. But people go in there and they go on the wiki and they will ask in forums and they'll ask like in their guild and all that sort of stuff. And the reason for that is because the game doesn't do a particularly good job of explaining some things. So that's why I made that guide, to kind of explain the basics of each individual aspect of the game. So yeah, like I said, if you're new and you're looking for some advice or some knowledge about some certain things, that's probably a good place to start. But if you have any particular issues or questions or something, you can always just send me a comment on YouTube, or you can send me a message on Discord and see how we go. Speaking of Discord, that's another good thing actually. If you are new and you're looking for advice and stuff as well, my Discord link is in the description of this video, and there's a bunch of people of all levels and stuff of bid heroes. There's new players all the way up to, you know, level 300 pluses in there that offer advice and friend slots and all that sort of thing. So if you're new and you're looking for some help and all that type of thing, consider checking my Discord out. And there's a heap of people in there that are always helpful, and everyone's friendly. There's no dicks in there, and people are just trying to help each other. So check that out if you are inclined. But there you go, almost an hour. So there's the long video for you. We got nothing. We got absolute junk. So if we go into, not that, but if we go into craft and we go into our little padlock here, the best thing we got that we hadn't got before is this Gloom Trap, which is an epic main hand. I guess we can use it for cosmetics, but everything else we got was duplicates of stuff that we've gotten before. And this is how I found out that I got that that mount, right? So every time you get a new piece of gear, it doesn't count for enchants and stuff. It won't show you these, but every time you get a new piece of gear that you've never received before, you can go into craft menu and then click this padlock, and it will show you in order what you've looted. So this is how I found out I had this mount in here, because I went in here to see if I looted anything from Expedition that I just didn't see because I was doing auto and wasn't paying attention, and it was just there. And I'm like, oh, okay, I got a cosmetic mount. That's cool. So yeah, that's a good tip as well. Actually, if you don't know what you've gotten recently and you want to check, go there and it shows you everything from forever ago. Like, yeah, it's pretty good actually. It's a handy thing to have. Either way, we'll end the episode here. I'll keep trying an expedition in that one particular portal to get the bow. Let's hope for the best and that we do get it. But that is Item Find Sunday all wrapped up. On Thursday, we'll continue going for Welcome +4. We've got him +3, but we'll continue trying to get it more to fuse him again to go to +4. Whether it be Wardy's Dungeon or Raid 2 or Raid 4 or all of the above, we shall see on Thursday. But for now, let's leave it here. Alright, well, hopefully you enjoyed it. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. If you like this video, click here to see another one just like it. If you're new to the channel and like what I'm doing, click here to subscribe and become the newest member of the Chicken Coop. If you really like what I'm doing, you can find a link to my Patreon in the description, where you can help support me and help the channel grow. You'll also find a link to the channel's Discord server where you can chat with me and other members of the Chicken Coop. And don't forget to hit that notification bell.